And there's got so much fucking pent up energy, man.
The massive Path of Exile 2 hate is getting ridiculous.
Is it
A
loud
lot of
or?
people have been
I
upset
don't hear
about
anything.
PoE 2
Anything
and
at
the
all.
difficulty of the game, and a lot of just like the different decisions that
What about
that have
Turn up
been
a
now?
bit
made.
more.
Yeah, who's
Turn
hating?
up
A
a bit
lot
more.
of people. Like if you go, I'll show you right now. People are complaining
Yeah.
about it like crazy.
Absolutely really fucking
Um,
quiet, man.
God, well that's just a meme, right? To be fair,
Aye, that's true.
roll crafting system negative, 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 negative. I don't know what this is. I'm not sure. I haven't read that. I have no movement on a screen.
Yeah.
Negative. Hate is getting ridiculous. A lot of people have been upset about PoE 2 and the difficulty of the game, and a lot of just like the different decisions that have been made. Yeah, who's hating? A lot of people. Like if you go, I'll show you right now. People are complaining about it like crazy. Um, God, well that's just a meme, right? To be fair, roll crafting system negative. Uh,
Yeah, did they say that? You cannot craft your own gear during campaign. We failed. Alpha Flora.
I think that's just the thing about the amount of currency that drops. Like, but
Yeah, I think they dropped. Oh shit! What did I do? Oh.
well,
negative.
Yeah, I think they just. I don't know. At the last second, they probably like said, "Wait. I think it's gonna be too much currency," and then they just lowered the number, went on vacation,
yeah.
and that's that.
I mean, it's weird though. So some days I go into maps and it's like hundreds of shit drop, right? And
Yeah.
then other days it's like hardly anything drops, man. I mean, but I do agree that if they're going to go the route where you have to craft off the ground, like they need to give you more fucking
Yeah.
currency, like
But
for real,
it's
for real.
apparently not only us that had that problem.
Yeah.
Negative,
Oh no.
negative, negative. I don't know what this is. I'm not
I
sure. I
just
haven't
hope,
read that.
wait,
I have
was
no
it me?
movement on a screen. Negative.
I just hope that GGG don't get influenced by all the fucking piss moaners, because all the piss moaners are the people that really didn't even play the game.
Yeah, they're all like in Act 1 or something. Act 2.
Yeah, I fuck it, bro. I hope they don't I hope they don't fold. Like, I really hope they stick to their guns and do what they intend to do. So I think the difficulty's fine.
Yeah,
Like,
just give a little bit more currency. That's
yeah,
about it.
maybe more options for crafting. Maybe I Ken, what I would like them to do. Let you remove the runes. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Now we have a little bit more fucking freedom with the resistances.
Yeah. I mean, it means like you, even if you see if you fucking decide to change your mind, like on your end game shit.
Yeah.
Like I've got two choices between putting on 2% more mana or like just buffing the fucking energy shield.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now that I think about it, I wish I had just buffed the energy shield rather than put the 2% mana. That would help me tremendously to fucking remove all that shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
alright, let's see what's going on then.
Now I wonder, like, now that you've played, would you like him to have, like, allow us to change ascendancies? Because I feel like if he
Yeah,
had
yeah,
been
yeah.
able to change, then I don't think people, like even you, when you got that little huddle that you had with your gear and
Yeah,
shit, you probably would
yeah,
have changed and then maybe never looked back. But now
yeah.
you
Yeah,
figured
I
it
mean,
out.
yeah. I mean, I feel like they will do it at some point. I mean, because enough people's got to complain about that,
Yeah.
right? But um, I think like we'll probably need to wait till like the game releases before we do that, to be honest. But um, it's definitely something they should do. Like that's one of the things they should do for sure.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, people will figure it out. Like even though if they switch, somebody else will figure it out.
Yeah. Like you need to remember as well. I
Um,
think they're holding back on that because there's obviously another variant to go as well, right? we're only getting 2 free ascendancies for each class right
Yeah.
now. So I think once they release the
Oh
third
yeah.
ascendancy, plus there's a variant to the classes as well. So there's actually fucking 6 ascendancies per class. So
Wait, what?
yeah, there's like, see when you go to the character select screen, it lets
Yeah.
you choose the variant of the class. So right now we've only got 1 variant each class. And 2 ascendancies, so each variant's got 3 ascendancies, so yeah.
And there's still like 3 characters missing, isn't there?
There's actually 6 missing.
6.
I think they said there was 32 ascendancies or something. Yeah, we only
Wait,
got half the class.
6.
We only got half the classes.
Wait, so you're saying there's the class, then there's a variant of the class.
There's the class, the 3 ascendancies for that class, the variant with another 3 ascendancies, and then there's 6 other missing classes.
Wait, what the fuck? Do you have an example, like which? What's the variant of which?
I'm not sure.
They haven't released that yet?
They've no said nothing about that.
What the fuck? I didn't know
But
that.
you can, like, the next time you go into the characters, make a new character, then look
Yeah.
at the bottom. There's 2 different variants of that class, and you can only choose one right now. So yeah,
Wait, don't
when
you
I
think
made
it's just gonna be like a look? Like just another look?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because 32 ascendancies.
That's confirmed 32 ascendancies, by the way.
Yeah, let's do the math. So if there's gonna be how many? 12?
Yeah, 12.
12
Yeah.
times 3. It's 36, right? So I think the variant's just gonna be like a different look. I don't think it's gonna be an actual.
You might be right there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So otherwise, you have to do that
Maybe-
times 2, and that's
No,
64.
okay, but it might be. Okay, but it might be you're starting shit. Like, see how, like, with Witch right now, you're locked into minions at the start, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe it gives you the variant to start as a, like, an elementalist or something like that. Like, but you still get the same ascendancies, if you know what I mean. So
I mean, once you get the skill gem, you can play whatever the hell you
I
want.
mean, but no all new players are going to know that, are they? You know what I mean? 'Cause I fucking, like, when I made that Witch, like, granted, I'm still in Act 1 with it, but like, I was thinking, like, how the fuck am I going to do this? And then I did realise, like, I could just fucking, like, start buying for the Sork tree,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, it's I don't think they would do it just to change, like, the aesthetics. I think they would do it to, like, give you 2 different starting points, so it's less thinking for new players trying to jump in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise, like, they see all those skill gems in front of them, just gonna fucking panic.
Now, you need to remember too,
I don't know what
only
this.
got like 10% of the skills right now, like maybe even less than 10% of like the actual skills that's got to be in the game. So it might get a bit overwhelming for new players. So that makes a bit more sense, like for them two different starting points.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Imagine like the tabs, they're gonna be huge.
I know, right?
Just
Holy
going
shit.
through like 50 tabs of gems to figure out what the fuck to pick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I haven't read that. I have no movement. Want to scream negative. A lot of people are being negative, right? People are very, very negative about the game.
We're not afraid
That's
to ask
one
the
other thing I'll
hard
say.
questions, or should
Movement
I
speed
say
modifiers are actually
ruthless
super
questions.
rare. Like, I
There's
hardly
a
ever see
huge
them.
problem with Path of Exile 2 right now, and it's not with the game. It's of what I think might just happen to it because of a ridiculous number of complaints flowing in about it right now across the internet. I hope
I don't think that they're going
Exactly,
to nerf
man.
the game in a way
They
that
better not
is
change that
stupid
shit.
to make the complainers happy.
I don't think
I
they
don't think
ever do
GGG
that.
will do that because they know that PoE
I
is
just
supposed to
hope they
cater
don't,
to
though,
a different
'cause
audience of
like,
people.
the,
I don't
the
think they
thing
will.
with this is they're trying to, like,
trying to do
encourage new
games
players
does not
play
listen
right,
to
so-
most of
Yeah.
them, despite
Yeah.
early access, of course, being designed to be fluid and fix major problems with the game. This is basically a beta. Path of Exile 2 has some things that could be better, but the direction
Sure.
and vision of the game is what some are trying desperately to change, and it shouldn't. Welcome to Path of Exile 2, everyone. The game is out, people are playing it, massive numbers of people, and
They'll lose
reception.
players catering to hardcores.
500,000 on
Making a
Steam,
game
that's
take
crazy.
longer
Not
and not
everybody plays
allowing
on
you to
Steam.
zoom through the game
Yeah.
super fast
Like
is
you.
not
A lot,
catering to
a lot of
hardcores.
people play on the
That's
client,
making a
right?
game that
So,
Yeah.
is designed
plus
differently.
there's console
I
as
think that
well.
there are
That's great.
elements
That's
of
definitely
friction
millions,
and
right?
tension
Oh, yeah,
that
dude, they're
games need
fucking-
in order
they're
to make
probably
them
closer to
entertaining.
2.5 million right
But
now,
it
for
shouldn't
real.
be about
Yeah, they
catering
sold
to
like million
hardcore players
keys.
or casual players. It should be about
More than that.
creating a fulfilling game experience for a person playing the game. Like
They
the
didn't
moment that you
expect
start
to, like,
building
sell
it for like a
million
type of
early access,
gamer,
but they went
I think
over
that
it,
you
they're
do
like,
lose a
fuck it.
lot of something.
It was like 1.3
by many
million.
informed
That
on
was
what the
on
game was supposed to be
the
and
first
currently
week as
is,
well.
Yeah.
as expected, is stellar. This is a poll of viewers of this channel, a channel built around Path of Exile 2. People are in love. This right here is a Twitter poll, once again, of people who were very well informed about Path of Exile 2. This is the face of a dude who's very hyped to play Path of Exile 2 and
Dude's
is
always,
loving
like,
it.
super
Yeah,
fucking happy,
it's
man.
me. And these are the words of my wife who just downed the Act 1 end boss
As a
after an
girlfriend,
hour
must be
and a
doing
half of
something right,
attempting it.
man. Holy
That's
shit.
good.
Yes, my heart is
No,
pumping.
man, it's Path of
Yes,
Exiles too.
need I say more?
Yeah.
She's probably
I feel
thinking, is
like-
this fucking dude cheating on me?
I don't even think it's that hard.
Wakes up, he's like,
That's
fucking
what's so weird to me about
AMSR
this.
and he's fucking like keyboard and shit, man.
Like, I made a new character today, or yesterday.
Is he going
And-
hard on the game as well, Asmund?
Let me see. I can show you guys.
I don't know.
So I played a witch.
I literally don't know.
This is my experience. I played a sork. I mean,
Alright, your build.
I dodge one attack. I move behind him. I get hit by both attacks. I get hit by both attacks again. I think I evaded the first one. He's stunned.
He's even chilling. Oh my god.
He's dead.
Alright, so
What the
keep
hell are
armor.
people doing?
Oh yeah.
That shit chills pretty nice, actually.
You can add a skill
Like-
gem that gives it increased
Yeah.
build up as well.
What about your... Yeah, stop playing warrior.
Lots of players love it, but some
Yeah.
players
Oh my god,
hate
is this
Path
shit
of
again?
Exile 2. Specifically, a certain sect of players who are always vocal about Path of Exile.
Oh, they
the
are.
largest Path of Exile community out there.
They're usually
Zoomers.
Bar
casuals
none,
as well.
except the people who actually play the game. The Path of Exile subreddit. This video breaks down
Ding,
their
ding,
qualms piece by
ding.
piece, then expresses why I hope Grinding Your Games does
Finish
not
it.
submit to the majority of these complaints and stands firm with the bulk of their decisions about Path of Exile 2, which is a completely different game compared to Path of Exile 1.
It is.
Talkative try here. Make sure you like
I
the
think
video.
also some
Imagine
classes, like,
auto
I don't think
attacking.
warrior is very fun to play.
Really?
But I also think that because I can't play like 70% of the warrior abilities that he would have available to him when the game's actually out, right?
Alright.
I don't find it very fun to play. Now, other people might find it fun to play. That's great. I personally don't. But like, I think warrior, like the class balance for warrior, like class damage, I think it's
Cryptus
fine.
playing warrior
I just
minions.
don't like the gameplay or the playstyle.
What the fuck?
If you end
That's
up
how I
liking
feel.
it and to subscribe
Dude
to
got
the
his
channel.
shield
Those are
up and shit
completely free
while
and
his
the best
minions
ways
are
to
doing
support
It's
the
fun. A
channel.
lot
That's
of
what
people
I
really
think
like
he's
It has
them.
been going
I think he's
very
playing
well the past little
SSF,
while.
the
I want to
hardcore.
keep pumping up those numbers.
Alright.
I have 8 Reddit threads here from the Path of Exile subreddit that I would like to discuss.
Yeah,
today.
where
We're
the
going to
loot,
look
mate.
at their concerns. We're going to address them, and then I am going to finally argue why I disagree with all of these. The first is just a meme. Grinding your games, where's the loot? It's not in abundance like Path of Exile 1, especially in the early game. This is by design.
Yeah.
They want items to matter. They want crafting materials to be
I bet that if you looked at all of the people that were complaining about the amount of loot in the game, 90% of them don't check the vendors on Level Up.
Yeah.
Actually, I bet 95%, if not 99%, don't.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Man.
It's such a very simple. Like, maybe it would be good if you get a level up and it gave you like an indicator, like a chat message where it said vendors have been reset with new items appropriate for your level. Like, maybe that would be good to
When
do
I
that.
go back to town,
That way players
a
knew.
pop-up appears.
But
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as I like when I did that for like my characters, it would just made the entire game easy.
Used on items. They want shops to
Vendor
matter.
restock, yes.
Lots of people probably aren't checking the vendors because they are treating this game like Path
Yep.
of Exile 1. What you're supposed
Even
to
in
do
Path of
is
Exile
pick
1,
up an
like
item,
the
maybe
top tier
magic,
players check
maybe
vendors.
a base white item,
Yeah.
and then craft on it
Like,
using crafting
The
orbs.
thing, I
Yeah.
think
Now,
the thing that puts
some
people
people
off
are
with
saying,
the one
hey,
vendors
we're
is
not
you need
getting
to know the
enough
recipes and
currency
shit,
drops.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe these need to be upped.
Mhm.
That might be the case. I haven't
I'd
had a
never
problem
check
because
vendors
I'm
if you
picking up
want
rare
to
items
lie.
and magic items, and I'm disenchanting them in the town.
Use your
and I am
fucking
getting
shield,
lots of
bro. Why is
shards
it there?
from these to create orbs.
I haven't had a big problem either, honestly. And I played 2 characters now in like past Act 1. I haven't had an issue really at all.
Yeah, it's not going
I
hard,
think
I
that they
guess.
should add in more currency because I think it would be more fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like let's take about balance and like hard and all this. I just think it'd be more fun to be able to do more experimentation on my gear.
For real.
So yeah, that would be great. But it's not
Especially
like
because
too
it's
hard
early
without it.
access.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody's doing that. I don't know if it's that well explained in
Right.
the game itself. It's hidden behind
Just to
one of
see
the
what people
NPCs,
can
and
get it,
you're only
like,
going to
come
see
up
that
with.
if you read the NPC's dialogue or options.
So I'm
or if
curious
you
how
just know
leveling's
about
gonna
it
be
by
with all
word
the
of
uniques
mouth.
you
There's
got.
no tutorial in game to do this.
Yeah.
So maybe this is something grinding gear games could encourage players to do. Because maybe these people who don't understand, okay, the loot is meant to be used, the loot is meant to not be in abundance, you're supposed to use these many different avenues and not just get stuff from monsters. They're wondering, where the heck are the items?
I think that's what they need to do. A lot of players don't even think to check the vendors because a lot of the people that are playing Path of Exile 2 played Path of Exile 1, and in PoE 1, you don't regularly check the vendors. I think that if they had just a small message or something like that that would tell you when you leveled up, it says, hey, by the way, you can buy a new item. So it's a user problem? Well, no, because so here's the thing. If players are running into the same problem, then that's probably more indicative of a design flaw than the actual players themselves. Because if you have players that keep running into the same issue over and over, maybe the issue is how you communicate how to avoid the issue. You see what I'm saying?
That could fix it, grinding your games.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, I don't think the game needs a better loot filter, but I think it needs a better loot highlighter. I am unaware why grinding your games does not put in certain bases or certain items getting highlighted. Only uniques get that little bar of light upon them. I think that special currency items
He's right about this.
exalted orbs
It's
and like
even worse for
jewelers
like
orbs now
right?
should
So,
have some sort of highlight or sound effect to them dropping as well.
No,
You
you
should not have to
can.
download the third party.
You can.
A third party
I
tool
believe.
in order
Yeah.
to like see loot.
Or the console, you sure?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
every
I
single
was
item needs to have a
linking
sound
my
effect like
shit.
a never
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
filter, but
I was doing
some
that
of
on
them
PoE
should
1.
as a default. The next up is yet another meme talking about the new
Hello.
ascension
Mhm.
process, in particular the trial of the Sekimas
You
and the
link
trial
it
of
to
chaos.
your
People do
Sony
not like them
account.
compared to the labyrinth.
Then you have to like
They
download
They're
it
harder.
through the PC, and then
That's why.
magically it appears.
They're harder.
All right.
In my opinion, I think that the new
against Sony's
version is a
DNS,
better
actually.
design,
Better
but it's
careful
harder.
with that shit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like some wizards are behind that shit, I believe. To do that, you just press a button, restart your game on console, and there it is.
Yeah, it's obviously
basically
getting put through like an FTP kind of
Yeah.
FTP kind of thing.
My opinion of the Labyrinth change is the same as my opinion of Arc Nemesis. The mechanics of Arc Nemesis, like rare NPCs, I think are a tremendous upgrade over what the previous mechanics were before that. That doesn't mean that Arc Nemesis mobs should have stayed in the game the way they were, but the idea of having rare mobs that have affixes that actually mean something and are interesting, this is a better form of design. But it's
Wait,
also a
what
more
was the
difficult
Archstay
form
that
of
made
design.
us a shit
And the
game?
problem is that people are going to complain whenever you make the game easier.
This one we haven't
But in
played.
this circumstance, I think that complaining is
It's an
unreasonable.
old League.
More
Right,
in depth than the Labyrinth. They are more fun than the Labyrinth. And yes, they are more engaging and challenging than the Labyrinth.
Yeah, the Labyrinth is just boring. It's a boring, annoying time sink that isn't fun to do, and there's no actual thinking involved. I think it sucks.
I disagree.
Now, it
Well,
was
I hate
great
it,
when it
like,
came out,
There's the one with all the curses
but
and shit.
I just,
That one was a
yeah,
nightmare.
I think the new one's better.
I prefer
Sure,
the new
the
one as well.
Labyrinth was very annoying
Like,
to a lot of
I
people.
don't
They didn't
like
like
the
Their
Oh,
going
garbage
through.
fuck
endgame
that.
numbers are tremendously overtuned. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's not.
You just have to see what the
That's
third
the
one
same
is
thing
gonna
with Arc
be.
Nemesis. That's actually a
Yeah.
really great point because that's the exact same
I'm
situation.
pretty
we
sure it's
have with
gonna be
Arc
Lab.
Nemesis. Arc Nemesis was
You'd think it's gonna
overtuned,
have been updated
but on a
Lab.
foundational level, it was good design.
This
Yeah, so
layout
you need-
and traps
you
and
need to
fighting
think, like,
Zaro, league
the
after
way they're going
league,
now, they're
time
basically
after
doubling
time.
up
Well,
on
now
old
they
leagues,
invested
so
a
you
lot
need to think
into
what
these
Yeah.
four new
they
ascension types
like,
with a
so,
third on
yeah.
the way
Yeah.
during early
Maybe like
access,
Lab combined
and they've
with, like,
become
another
entire
league or
endgame
something.
systems, and they are very
This guy
well
was
developed.
auto
But
attacking.
people don't like that
it.
you have to spend a lot of time in, and there is a chance of
And now he
failure.
puts his totem
The
on.
Labyrinth, for all of the annoyances about it, was pretty darn easy. The Trial of the Sekimas, when you first encounter it,
When Lab came out, it was pretty hard. I remember doing it like the league after it came out. I was like, "Fuck, this is kind of challenging."
I think it was
Exile
already
2
out by the time
is
we fucking
difficult.
played it.
Yeah.
It engages
Right,
you when you
yeah.
play. And people, once again, don't
We
necessarily
started
like that.
playing with that
It
memory
goes
shit
back
came
to
out.
the first
The
post
shaper.
about
First,
gear
yeah.
and you needing to engage with the gear that actually drops and not just,
Mhm.
oh, okay, bunch of gear drops. I'm going to pick up
Aye, it
this,
was
this, this.
synthesis,
One of them's
yeah.
bound to be good.
Yeah.
No, you have to pay
Yeah, it was a
attention to the
synthesis.
individual gear drops.
Yeah.
Every item matters as long as it's an item that
Oh,
you really
dude,
can
another
use
thing.
on your class. Remember, there's no
We
smart
forgot to
loot.
do is corrupt
So you're
our
looking for items
gems.
that work well for your class mostly, unless you're trading. But I don't think a lot of
Wait,
people are
can you
trading
do
right
that?
now.
Yeah.
I haven't traded yet. Let me know in the
Neither
comments.
have
But we
I.
need
Do
level
you trade
19
at all?
gems.
I've just been playing the game
No.
and having a blast.
Oh, is
Anyway,
that how you get
back
the
to
level
this.
20 ones?
Yeah.
People miss Izaro because
Ah,
now
right.
these
How
two
the
trials
fuck do
are
you do
very
that,
deep,
then?
very engaging.
You
and
quality
very
I
them
think
and
that
then
also
you corrupt
people
them.
miss having mastery over a system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I
That's
haven't
good.
seen many level 19 fucking gems on the ground.
I think I've picked up. I think I've got like 6 or 7 of them. I could give
Right,
you
really?
that. Yeah, I could give
Nice.
you a couple
Fuck
to
yeah.
try it.
Yeah, so you have to make them 20% and then use a Val on it.
Yeah. I
That'll
think
be another
I'll,
huge increase.
I might be tripping. Though. I'll need to double check.
Them, and now they have to relearn a new system that's more challenging, and they're upset about that. So, like, and that's really the difficult, like, that's the difficult function of, like, a game designer, is, like, how can you separate good feedback from people that are, like, they're basically complaining.
Yeah, remember like for Bloodborne, dude, when that shit came out, the Dark Souls, like the Demon Souls people, they were already like hardcore FromSoft.
Mm-hmm.
They were struggling with that game
Yeah.
because of how different it was from the original.
Bloodborne's a fucking masterpiece as well, man.
Right.
Like,
People have been remaking it.
I've
Like-
seen one dude fucking demade it into a PS1 game as well, man.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
And it's funny, all pixelated and shit.
I think when I first, like, I bought Bloodborne on release, and I think I played it up to, where did I play it up to? Like, I left that game for like a good year and a half before I went back to it. I think it was, see, in the church where you fight the big wolf lady.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Maria.
I stopped there. Yeah, I mean, I was the only person on my friends list at that time that played the kind of games, so I kind of just, I think I fucking stopped playing it to play like Call of Duty or something.
Yeah.
So it's stupid, man.
Yeah, I think the
Oh,
moment I met Praise and all them, and like the amount of fucking time I played that game, would stay up all night just to play that shit, just over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, I put like a fucking. I can remember I got Demon Souls on PS3, and like that was the first one I played, like the
Hmm.
first game like that, and I just didn't understand it. Bro, I can't quit that game. I think it was years and years and years after that game came out that I went back and played it, man. No, but that was good. That was a good game. The PS3, it ran like shit on the PS3 as well, like fucking 20 frames per second or some shit.
Yes. Fucking PS3.
because it's harder and they're unfamiliar
Yeah.
with it. Well, that shouldn't be a complaint that people give a fuck about, right? Like, oh, it's harder and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, well, people said that about Lab. Just play the game. Yeah, exactly. Sanctum isn't deep. It's 100% anti-melee. That should not happen. I think the entire game is anti-melee, but that's a totally separate problem. I think you're right
Yeah,
about
dude,
that.
how
That's
the
a very fair
fuck do you
criticism.
do Ultimatum with melee?
Because
Mm-hmm.
they just want to get the ascendancies.
That's weird though, because
They just
what
want
they
to
said
get more
at the
powerful
start
with not
is
a lot
that
of input
range
in.
range
That's
people
what
will have
I'm
a harder
gauging
time
from
than
all the
melee.
comments,
Yeah.
from these memes that are
Well,
around.
it doesn't look like
People
that.
just want the rewards.
No,
I look
it
at
they
this
want them
shit.
fast, and they want them easily.
Yeah.
This commenter right here is bringing up probably the
It's
only
like
valid
some
point,
of the
I
bosses
think, with
just
the
fucking
trial of the
rapid
Sekimas.
fire their
The
abilities
thing is,
back to
basically
back to
all
back
builds
to
Yeah.
work for labs.
It's like,
It's a soft
that
That
stack.
used to
imagine
not be
playing
the
that as a
case.
melee, for
And there
real.
were a lot of builds.
But yeah, I think now getting your ascendancies feels so much better than in PoE1.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Like,
for real.
Fucking hell,
It feels more
especially when it's like a
meaningful.
big ass node that you get.
I see it. I like it more because it's like it's like a wall. If you're not
Yeah.
strong enough to do it, you don't deserve it, kind of thing.
Right.
So, yeah, I like that one 100%. Better than
builds that were a lot worse for Labyrinth.
I said
People used to have
Right.
characters that were lab runners, and they were juggernauts that would have like 9 endurance
Oh, I
orbs,
remember the
and they
lab
were
runners.
designed to run
Had,
lab
like,
over and over
400%
and sell
movement speed
carries.
and shit.
Yeah.
So like all of that happening, like that's something that happened over time. It wasn't something that happened immediately.
And skill check. That is a nice break from the campaign. I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy it for the 10,000th time, but it did what it set out to do. Build consistency for Sanctum is all over the place. I think it would be better if they just removed Honor, but regardless, it is certainly a weird decision to bring Sanctum back into PoE2 with such minimal changes on what made it unpopular. You get more honor from your defenses. If
think
you
what they should
dodge,
do
if you play strategically
Is
during
give
this,
like melee
you are
players
going
like
to make
more
it to the end.
resistances.
If you aren't paying attention, you definitely are.
Nah, they need to be able to take way more hits.
Lose all of your
Like
honor.
base resistance.
However, for
I think the
certain
criticism of not liking the honor system in the ascendancies is totally fair. I'm very split on it, and I haven't done it enough to have an opinion. And I also play a
fucking hate
minion
it.
build, which probably is one of the easiest things
I'm
to
fine
deal
it,
with.
But I think it's just the build I'm playing now.
Honor system is super
That might
anti-melee.
change
Yeah,
it,
I remember
okay.
whenever I was playing it, I was like, I bet this would probably be really bad if I was a warrior, right? Especially whenever you have mechanics like thorns, for example. Well, like if you have a thorns build, are you just kind of fucked?
Oh yeah, true. What the
It's a
fuck?
weird thing. I think it could be balanced in a different way. And taking hits
Yeah,
shouldn't
thorns
necessarily
just
be
couldn't
seen as
do
like a
it.
bad thing.
Oh, you
because
have to do the
classes
other
are
one then,
designed
right?
with totally different goals.
There you go.
builds, it is definitely
Fancy
harder.
shit.
If you're melee, it is much harder
See,
than if you
the
are
problem
ranged.
is with the
But
ultimatum, you need
hopefully, because
so
of the way
much
it scales
fucking
with evasion
utility in your
rating
build to
and
like
armor,
deal with it all.
giving more to your
Like,
honor.
Or just insta kill
Hopefully that could
everything.
work itself out.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if they should give more.
And people don't
honor
know
to
about
people
relics
who
as
are
well.
wielding
Like the
armor
amount of
sets
time I
in
see
melee,
people say
tagging
In
armor.
my opinion, I
or
think the honor
fucking
system is flawed and they should
complain about ultimatum in chat, and then people just say, "Dude, you need to get relics first." Then so many
Is that-
people are like, "Yeah, I've not even thought of that."
That's just fucking common sense, man. Like people
Yeah.
are so stupid. Like fuck's
So
sake.
you literally need to like the first relic that drops, like a pop-up needs to appear. The game needs to pause, like in the beginning,
Yeah.
like when they show you how to dodge shit.
Yeah, and give you like a mini tutorial and
Yeah.
tell you like, yeah. See, that's the the fuckers that are complaining that they can't do it and then they don't know about like relics. They're the same people that are complaining on Reddit non-stop as well.
Oh yeah.
So they just don't understand the mechanics of the game, like fucking idiots, man.
Well, they're complaining rather than fucking playing, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's so fucking. I don't understand. Like,
What do we
common
think about
sense
the
is
system
dead.
entirely.
But like I said, man,
Like maybe like this is the way I see it, is that if you have to
fall to the idiots, man.
I don't think they will. Like if from what we've seen in PoE1, I don't think they will.
Well, look, if it was years ago, I would have said the same about Square Enix with fucking Final Fantasy. But because they started getting popular and they were bringing out all
Yeah.
these fucking gay boys and fucking sissy boys and that, they started catering more to the casuals than they did the fucking like the hardcore players. Like, and it ruined the game. Like for real, for real.
Yeah.
I just hope, I fucking pray they don't go down that road, man.
Nah, it's true. That's a possibility actually. If
Yeah.
they do that, then it just becomes PoE1 again, right?
It becomes a game that alienates the fucking the true player base. And I mean, you've got PoE 1 to fall back on, but I'd rather play PoE 2.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's gonna be complaint like from a specific PoE1 players as well.
Constantly create all of these
imagine
like
there would be,
weird,
aye.
oh well, they should do this, they should do that. Maybe the system just isn't very good. Maybe you should just not have the system. Like, that's my opinion.
I'm not too sure how they could solve that and make it so that melee isn't more difficult to get through the trial of the Sekimas.
Resistance.
Maybe ultimatum, ranged is worse, melee's better. Not sure about that. Haven't even made it into the trial of chaos. I'm about to hop in, but there are lots of people that are
What the
complaining about the
fuck?
trials
How
and
have they
Ascension.
not gone to that?
Again,
Yeah.
challenging
Wait,
they
when
are.
did this video come out?
They're not like the
Yeah.
lab,
Oh, 3 weeks ago. Okay, it makes sense.
which was a menial task.
It was not a menial task when it came out. It was challenging when it came out. That's another component. It's like every league when
Endgame is awful.
The current mechanics are usually a lot harder than the older mechanics for two reasons. Number one,
Hey,
Bro,
was
look
it
at the
okay?
first line. Having reached maps and done about 30 T1 to T3 by now, the end game seems really bad.
Bro,
Bro.
that's the comment you do once you've killed all the pinnacles.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Fucking 30 maps. Dude's a dad gamer for real. But I was going to say something there as well. Ah, fuck, it's right out my head, man.
Oh,
mechanics
come
get
on.
nerfed, and number two, the
Why is
player
my
base gets a
camera
lot better at dealing
flickering?
with them.
Is there
Okay,
aliens
this
in
one
my
I barely
fucking
read.
shit?
I just have to include it
Take
in
it
here.
back
I'm
like
not
10
in
seconds,
endgame yet.
10, 15 seconds.
Okay, and this one I've barely read. I just have to include it in here. I'm not in endgame yet.
Yeah.
I've seen no endgame
Alright,
footage.
pause.
This is the
Yeah. See, the entire endgame, that was developed in under 6 months. So you need to kind of appreciate what's there for the development time. 6 months in game development time is fucking nothing.
Wait,
And
really?
yeah, because they
It's
did say that
crazy.
they switched gears because of Diablo, because they saw Diablo never had an end game,
Yeah.
so they stopped like making fucking out of the act 4, 5, and 6, and they
Oh,
spent
right, yeah.
5.5 months on Endgame. So everything we got at Endgame only took them 5.5 months to do. So that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Alright, let's
Yeah,
go.
that's actually nuts. What the
Yeah.
Like a
fuck?
good example is that, like in Cataclysm, for example, like Cataclysm came out in 2011. People are going back now and they're doing Cataclysm with the same gear that they had in 2011 in classic Cataclysm, and they're just clearing it in hours. It's like nothing.
It's World of Warcraft.
It's because people know everything about it and they know how to reverse engineer the like difficult parts of it.
Yeah, I guess.
And that knowledge makes them much better. And then like
Yeah.
you have that on top of the power creep. You have that on top of the familiarity. Yeah.
only Reddit thread I've opened about endgame,
Yeah.
and I just read the bullet points. This person says the end game is awful because of the crafting, because there's none in the game. Losing maps on death is bad because the mobs are too hard. Loot way too little. Balancing is out of whack. And
I think losing items on death is stupid too. And having
I
all
don't
the
mind
mobs
it. I
respawn
really
on
don't
death
mind it.
also
I
is
thought I would have
stupid.
hated it, but I don't mind it.
I don't really see like the gameplay advantage that it adds.
The way I see it is, if you're not strong
Like how
enough
does
to
it
do
make
a
the
map,
like how does this
you're
make
not-
the game
you're not
better?
entitled to get the gears kind
I
of
don't
thing.
see it making
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a hot take though. Like for most players, would they be happy with it? But I'm fine with it for real.
Does feel bad when you like die in a map and you haven't done any league mechanics or anything like that. But yeah,
The thing is, like, I rarely die in maps, right? So
yeah,
I'm no as I'm probably not as frustrated as many other players, man. To be fair, but like I have, well, actually, I've seen myself diving in to grab a divine and then getting fucking ground popped by like
oh
10
yeah,
fucking things. Yeah, I mean
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
only other
When
time.
I die, it's usually a mistake I make as well. Just
Yeah.
being so fucking tired and just doing dumb shit.
Yeah. One thing I will say though, like I think you said it before as well, like when the delirium fog is up, it's so fucking thick you can hardly ever see
Yeah,
anything on the ground,
you
man.
don't see shit. Yeah, you just need to make like the screen like a bit gray and just fuck off with the fog. Just have
Hmm.
maybe like a line of fog that just guides you where
Hmm.
you have to go. Well, other than that,
Yeah.
Making
Yeah,
the
I
game
agree.
better at
They need to like reduce the density of the
yeah,
fog on there.
that shit is wild.
all.
Has that
Steering
shit
is
been out yet?
brutally
No.
hard. So, what are we seeing a lot of here? They are
Mm-hmm.
not getting satisfaction quickly. Once again, it harkens back to the fact that Path of Exile 1 players are expecting a solved game. They are
Yeah, exactly.
expecting Path of
Oh my
Exile
god, I
1,
have
which we have
sound
been
in the
playing for
beginning.
over a decade now in Path of Exile 2.
They
They're
fixed some
expecting to
shit.
be able to blast through maps, blast through the campaign, beat all the bosses, gear their characters, be able to understand all the different
Yeah, we
facets
can
and
play.
systems of the game right now,
You want to
including
finish watching
crafting
this or
and
do you
loot
want to
and the
jump in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
let's
are coming
finish
at
it.
this with the experience of like one game for 10 years, and then they're playing this game for 2 days.
balance. And that's not the case.
Yeah,
Sure, there's
he's
lots
right.
of fine tuning that has to be done by grinding your games,
Mhm.
but I am pretty darn sure a lot of this game is in a very good place.
Yeah.
Early
Yep.
I agree.
access is
I agree
for exactly
100%.
this, the fine tuning.
Mhm.
But the general brushes and swaths are great. Lots of
Yeah.
people are making massive exaggerations saying there's just zero loot, there's zero items, nothing, you're not getting anything.
See,
I
the
haven't
most problems
experienced
I've
that.
ran
I'm in
into
Act
is
3
with
and I'm getting
delirium.
upgrades
Like,
constantly. I'm using
Yeah,
crafting orbs
I am
in case
too.
of
Yeah.
bugs. Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's way less loot than PoE 1. Yeah, sure. But like I'm getting loot very regularly.
Hmm.
constantly, and it
Especially when you
feels
get
good.
past
The
like T5
progression
and
Yeah.
feels
T6 maps,
great.
Yeah.
like
My
rares
wife
just drop
loves that
every
there's
time.
not loot
Like every time you
all
kill a
over
rare,
your
you always get
screen
like
like in
2,
Path of
3, 4,
Exile 1.
5
She's
fucking
progressing
like
Right.
through the game.
yeah.
My brother-in-law, the same. My dad, the same. My brother, the same. They
Yeah.
all vastly enjoy this experience compared to Path of Exile 1. And a big
I
part of
mean,
it
I'm at the
is the
point now
fact that
where
there's
there's
not
a
loot
lot of
blasting all
rares
over
I
your
just leave
screen,
on
and
the
the
ground and
items
then
you
even
pick up
bother
and
I think
picking
it's
interact
up.
with.
It's
overwhelming.
too many.
Yeah. Insane, dude. Just pick up the exalts, the orbs, and the shards now.
Yeah, I mean,
Then
I don't even rarely pick up gear path. I'll pick up if it's like tier 4 or tier 5, but like tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, like, I just fucking leave that shit, man.
yeah, I don't think I see many like tier of the gear that I need. It's always like
That's,
some warrior shit.
yeah, yeah, same, dude, same. I rarely find the chest I need, like, with like any kind of tier
Yeah.
on it, man.
I don't think I've seen it once.
I think I've seen it once, like, that I can remember, and it was like a tier 4, and it was actually garbage when I
Yeah.
unveiled it. Yeah.
Usually
For
is.
players to have loot constantly like that, where like you're just getting spammed with loot over and over. Like you can't. It's like a sensory overload to a certain point.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
to
just
me,
getting
it is. Like I would
exalts like
much rather
everywhere
have a game
that I
focused on
kill.
combat,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I get loot sometimes, and it's really good.
like,
And I
that's
think
what I was saying.
also
like
this is one of the
some
good
days
things about
I
PoE
get them
2
every time.
is that
Other
a lot
days
of
it's
people
like
can
I
enjoy
can
PoE
kill
1
10
and
and
not
only
like
get
PoE
like 2 or
2
3.
in the same way that people can enjoy PoE 2 more than they enjoy PoE 1.
But is it because you're like traveling or are they actually doing those big nodes?
I mean, it's usually when I'm traveling. That's a good point,
Yeah.
actually. I mean, there's always at least like one league mechanic or like irradiated or something on it, right? But
Yeah.
the you're right though. The more fucking league shit you've got in the map, the better the gear. Like
Yeah.
100%.
Like that 200% map that showed you that did was just filled with yellow loot.
Yeah.
If
Nice.
you do like those kind of maps like all day, the
Mhm.
amount of divines you're gonna get,
Oh, yeah,
pretty
for
sure it's gonna be insane.
Probably like 10 plus, right? Easy.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get to now. Just upgrading all my towers, getting those like 50 to 60% quantity, and then just using the like 90% quality
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
waystones on them.
Like
And just go crazy on that.
I'm not really too bothered about re-rolling the maps to get the percentage on it. I mean, what I'm focusing on right now is I'm doing deliriums and breaches when I come across them, but I'm
Yeah.
traveling to find as many citadels as possible because when people fucking realize how much they sell for and how easy they are to get,
Yeah.
the fucking price, like, I better cash in as quick as
Right.
possible.
Yeah, I think I might do it. But actually, I do want to see the pinnacle ones though. But you only need the stone, right?
The copper, we need a copper one, and then
Ah,
we're good.
shit. Fuck. Yeah. And it's
Like I
that one
said,
that sells for a lot, right? Copper one?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like between 230 and 250. So it's like I said, I've only ever saw that once,
Yeah.
and I've never saw it again.
I think both opinions are valid, and you have both games to play. Where's the problem?
Actually
But yeah,
matter.
see
They
if you go
did
down
it
that route,
in Path of Exile 1
definitely
Like, the goal
stick
for
shouldn't
with
be
the
make the
coast,
games
like
like each other.
Remember,
the
Grinders
model's
Yeah.
edge.
said they didn't
Oh,
want a
yeah,
loot filter to be
I'm
necessary.
pretty sure
Exactly.
that's the
I hope they
Yes.
stand firm on this decision.
100%.
Yeah, I wish they
Well,
all had like the thing like one is like tied to a certain biome, like then stone
Well,
is tied to another
yeah.
biome.
One other thing I've noticed as well, like see when you're following the coastline
Yeah.
and you can drag into like the mist. If
Yeah.
there's an area with 3 or more towers, it looks like there's a citadel nearby as well. Like close, like really close by, like
Oh, really?
three towers really close to each other. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a good chance that it'll be there. That's for like my observation so far, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm traveling to a couple of those right now.
Yeah.
Actually, you could be right, because there's 2 stone citadels. They have like shit ton amounts of towers around them.
Hmm.
That's why I actually found it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So there
actually
is a
might
way to
look out for that.
there is a kind of way to like guess where the citadels are. Like even if they're in the unveiled, like it's still in the fog. So
Yeah,
maybe something to look out for. And I mean, you can confirm it if you try it.
right.
So that would be good to know, right? Like,
Yeah. One thing though, those charms, I don't know how I feel about this shit.
yeah, they didn't feel like they're working like they should be working. I think.
Yeah, it's like one mod that you could use something
I
else
think the
for.
I think the +1 or +2 needs to be more common as well. Like the +1 charm slot or +2 charm slot. Like,
Or you should like make us like corrupt the belt and then there's like a chance to get that shit on
yeah,
top of the
exactly.
rest.
Aye, for sure.
Something like that. I don't know.
Or
I
they
do
should
hope
just
that
open
we
up
do
the slots based on the level of the fucking belt. You know, like the eye level.
Yeah.
So if you get like an 86 belt, it has 3 slots. If you get an
Yeah.
82 belt, it has 2 slots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's another way.
But I do think they need to do some adjustments to the charms themselves. They just they're trash basically.
Yeah, you can't really play around them because you don't really see when they pop. It's just like
Exactly.
something super specific.
Yeah, you need to get like a little counter at the bottom. Like see how
Yeah.
you get your shock fucking build up or something like that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they can make that something that's fun. I have no idea.
I mean, I'm
see in the
sure
end game
over time
higher
they'll
tier
fix it right,
items
but
dropping.
Yeah.
I don't
right
see a
now
lot
it feels
talked
bad.
about that
Mhm.
in this thread here. Once again, I haven't participated in
Yeah,
endgame.
because people are in like Act 1 and Act 2 and they're complaining.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people might be blowing this out of proportion literally 3 days in to the
But
early
also, to be
Just
fair, like
bitches
to
being
one point of
bitches,
credit
man,
to
that's
this,
what
3
it is.
days in. 3 days in and people are already talking like this. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Just
That's
fucking
wild.
going for the sake of it, man. For real.
Maybe they're Diablo 4 players. Who knows?
Yeah.
our point of view, is that if
Like
you
the most
are
vocal
playing a game
people
and you don't
are
enjoy
always
it
the
in the first
people that
couple of
are like the
hours,
most casual.
that is the
Yeah.
highest probability time period that you're going to quit playing the game. So, like, if you're playing at the beginning and you're not having
Wait, what
fun,
did he say?
that. So, like, if you're playing at the beginning and you're not having fun, that's when you have quitters. So the game
Obviously.
has to be fun at the beginning. Absolutely bad take. Really? I mean, I think it's common sense. Because you're less invested.
I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah,
right?
no, of
Fucking hell.
course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like these are the things, like, I think they should give you more currency and they
Mhm.
should inform players better about the usefulness of vendors. Both of these things are not done well in the game. And I think that giving, like, if they could add one side objective or add one gear reward to a lot of the Act 1 quests, I think that could really help players feel more powerful and feel like they were making progress more. The game shouldn't cater to everyone. That's not the conversation. We're having a conversation about, like, what is good design, what's not, how the game could be better. Like, it shouldn't cater to everyone. Of course it shouldn't cater to everyone. It doesn't. Like, it's not what's happening.
Every time somebody says some
It's not even
dumb
what we're
shit,
discussing.
whole chats they ban him.
Okay, here's one that actually a lot of people, including content creators, agree with Reddit on. Being blocked by monsters is hideous, not fun, and not a
Yes.
good mechanic. I disagree readily.
Mhm.
The entirety of Path of Exile 2, it revolves around the fact you cannot just easily phase through monsters. With investment, there do appear to be some avenues to phase.
What?
By
What
default,
was
you
it
can't
for 1
dodge roll through
second,
monsters.
actually? They
You
go back.
need to kill
But
the monster
one
to
thing I want
phase.
to add as
But
well
by
that
default,
I
you can't.
really think that, like, pause it. One thing I really think they need to do is change, like, maybe not adding phasing, but they need to, like, see when you dodge roll, you
Yeah.
should be able to, like, fucking get out of any kind of situation. I think, like,
And
they need to
sometimes
do
there's like pathing, right? Where you can like zigzag through mobs.
Yeah, I feel like you get stuck on monsters too. Like, it can, but what I hate about, like, see when you pop the delirium crystals.
Oh yeah,
Push
yeah,
you
yeah.
back. Bro,
Yeah, that
like,
shit
they need
needs
to do
to
something
be.
about
Yeah, they need to relax on that shit.
that. Yeah, like, maybe even make it as if monsters don't actually push you back as far.
Right? Yeah,
Or
that's another thing. Like you're dodging like half of your screen and then off screen something runs in, pushes you back into everything you just dodged, and you just get hit by everything. That shit is
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, they need to do something about that for sure.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest complaints is that, like,
Yeah, getting pushed is horrible. It's so fucked.
Dodge roll through monsters. You need to kill the monsters. This is vital to the way the game is designed. And if they add something like phasing to the
That
game,
looks like
if
fun.
they add
Just
anything
explode
of that
shit.
sort, I think it
Just-
will change the experience
he's
that
got that
people are
explodey
currently
fucking thing,
having.
right?
The
I
war
think that
cry,
it will,
yeah.
and I think that's a good thing. I disagree with this. I think that getting body blocked into a corner and then being consistently, like, spam stunned and then you lose your character and you die, I think that really feels bad to play. And I
Yeah.
don't think that that experience makes the game better. I think it just feels really shitty.
That's another thing.
And don't get in the corner. Well,
stun
you
counter,
can't do
like, I
that
think
because
they
the
need to
mobs
adjust
push
that
you
a
as
bit
well.
well.
It just doesn't feel good.
Well, they're... And I think they want to have like a decision where you're either going in guns blazing or you just sit back a
That's
bit.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think people are just, I don't know, taking too much on their plate, I guess.
Mhm. See, the thing is, like, I picked up, like, after we done that simulacrum,
Yeah.
and I got stun locked into Oblivion. I took fucking wait. I think I added about another 90% as energy shield as stun threshold. And
Really?
that's like, yeah, I think that's like fucking. That'll take me well over 2,000 stun threshold, and I'm still getting stunned occasionally. So, I mean, I think they do need like tone it down just a wee bit. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
But you get chain stun though.
Yeah, I mean, any kind of projectile stuns you, like
Oh, really?
builds the shit up, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
true.
if you get hit by like even with that over like 2,000 stun threshold, I get hit by like 4 projectiles. The last one will stun me. You know what I mean? So, and
Hmm.
that's a lot of points to invest.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I think the stun chain is fucking crazy sometimes.
Hmm.
Like, you need to
Yeah,
have that charm, otherwise, like, freeze is not as deadly as
yeah.
that shit.
Freeze is only really an issue when you're doing towers, to be honest.
Yeah, true. And you can just
Um,
switch charms.
but, and then you've got the bastard and corruption monsters, right? They're a fucking nightmare for stunning, man.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they just hop on you, and then they just fucking even when you try and get away from them, they're just
Yeah,
so fucking fast, man.
yeah, they just follow you till the fucking end. And every
Like, yeah,
time you can attack and they just insta disappear, it's so fucking annoying.
yeah. I do agree with you though. I think the stun charm is like the fucking MVP charms right now.
Right.
But yeah,
It's a skill issue. Being bad at the game shouldn't be unfun in that way. So every form of difficulty isn't created equal.
I mean, actually, like I think last couple of days I've been running the increased rarity charm instead of the
Mhm.
stun charm.
you notice the difference?
Not really. I think the only times I've died was like when I get like slowed or like chilled heavily into
No, I
like
mean, I mean, you notice the difference in the look. Like,
ah not really. But like I said, I've been
hard
traveling
to
most of
judge,
the
right?
time.
It's really hard to judge that kind of
Yeah.
thing, I
And
suppose.
it's not that much either. It's like 20% only.
Yeah,
So it's, yeah. I've
yeah.
been
I
looking
mean, I
for some
suppose.
nodes right now that has like
I think,
40% plus.
yeah, I think what you were saying earlier, like when you might at one point try out like a magic find build.
But now you need to
See it.
have it like in your gear. Just have like, I don't know, 2 pieces that have like rarity on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, can you not get it on every piece now?
Yeah, I think you can actually.
Yeah, I mean, like just a magic like tailored to magic find, right? Like
Yeah.
just see the difference. Like take a video with no magic find versus like full magic find, and like compare the both of them and see
Yeah,
if it's
just do
actually
like a
worth
full
it.
day of maps with and
Mhm.
without.
Yeah, yeah. Be
I guess
interested
you
to see
can
what.
like drop some stats as well and like go to lower tier maps.
Ah, yeah, for sure you could do that. I
Mm.
mean, if I was going to do it, I'd want to do it on like T15s and that though. So I mean, I'd need to make a
Yeah.
completely different build that takes into account magic find.
Hmm.
I mean, it's no something I want to try right away, but with the limited time I'm going to be able to play coming up, but I think it's worth trying at some point. I don't know.
I'm kind of like trying it right now with the towers and all that. But I need more gear. I think,
Yeah, but
yeah,
imagine fucking your towers on top of the map, fucking things on top of like
your
magic find and all
gear.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that shit's gonna be wild. And then the double corrupt on top of it. Sometimes it
Mhm.
upgrades your mods.
Oh, does that?
Yeah. Alright.
So
Let's
there
finish
are a
this
lot of
video so we
skill
can
issues
play.
in games
Yeah.
that aren't fun to overcome. So by saying something is a skill issue, that doesn't mean that it's good or bad. So if you're having a conversation about the quality of the game and the quality of the experience, this exists outside of being good or bad at the game. Because if you create an experience for a player that's extremely unfun when they're bad at the game, they will never be motivated to ever become good at the game either. Because they'll say, oh, this sucks. I hate this. This isn't fun. There are a lot of ways that you can punish a player, and you can create challenges and consequences for bad actions that don't remove agency away from a player. I don't think phasing necessarily should be the solution, but there should be some way that you can get out of getting body blocked into a small area and then losing control of your character and dying. I think that's a very unfun, and I think that's a quit moment experience.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's good for the developers, and it's not good for the community to have a bunch of unnecessary quit moment experiences.
It's wild
Yeah,
to me
dying
that
at all is
we're at
unfun.
this point in
Yeah,
discussion,
but
the
like
game's
when
not
you
even
die
been
to
out, like,
something
a
that's
full
really
month
annoying,
yet,
it becomes
and
much more
there's this much negativity, man. It's insane to me. Like,
Yeah, what was it, 3 days after?
yeah.
That's nuts.
unfun. So yeah, let them roll out. I think you should be able to roll out of it. Body blocking forces you to fight mobs, but it doesn't. Because what happens with body blocking is that, and this is especially true with low-level characters, is that you'll get body blocked into a corner, and then the mobs will attack you over and over, and it will cause you to get chain flinched, and you can't move or do anything with your character, and you die. That's what happens. And if that happens to a new player, they're going to think, this really sucks. I don't want to play this game. Because it's not a fun form of
Especially new
difficulty
players coming in,
that's challenging. And so when I
Yeah, I
think
heard my
about how to make
brothers
challenging difficulty,
talk
I
about
think
that shit
about
as
how
well.
to make like
Where
bosses
they can't
and
dodge out
elite
of
mobs,
those situations.
how to give
Did
them
they ever play
abilities that the
Elite
player
1
can
though?
interact
Or were
with
they just
and
Yeah, my
avoid.
brother, older one,
And
plays
I don't
Diablo
think that
4.
you should try to make difficulty.
Right.
Anytime that a player loses control of their character, I generally assume that they're not having fun. So in the cases where a player can't move and loses control of their character, there had better be a damn good reason for it, and I don't think this is good enough. Or the sunlock in general. Yeah. I don't think it's fun. And so 180-degree swing tracker? Well, yeah, for sure. Sounds like you want this to be D4 now. Because I don't think you should get body blocked, I want it to be D4. You can get body blocked in D4. Have you played D4? The same thing can happen in D4.
Ban him again.
It's a mechanic to stop skipping mobs and phasing through maps.
They say D4 bad.
Yeah.
D4
That's
Andy.
irrelevant. All of that, like what you're talking about, like the design philosophy of it, that's important. But if it's coming out of the player's experience and it's really unfun to deal with, then I think that's what takes precedent. And I think they should get rid of the, they should at least allow you to roll out of being walled into a corner and stun locked and killed. Because I think that that will cause people to quit the game, and they will never actually be motivated to get any farther in the game because it's an unfun experience that takes agency away from the player.
As well, like for the hard,
I think it sucks.
The hardcore solo self-found, that shit has got to be horrible, man.
Right. Yeah. Like, holy fuck. Yeah. I don't know. How those fucking guys do it? I guess it
Like-
just take ages to get through the campaign, right?
But then you've got the problem is they obviously do the event right. They do like the races at the start of the league, so you can't afford to take your time if you're doing solo self-found hardcore. You know what I mean, this has been the game releases, but
Yeah.
right now, I don't think I'll take fun on hardcore solo self-found. But
Yeah, solo self-found is too much. Like, you can still do hardcore trade.
I reckon I could do the solo self-found like on this particular build that I've got right now. But I mean, obviously the trade website just like accelerate my
Right.
progress. But I think when the game releases, I might give it a try. Like I might give it a try. I'm not 100% on it, but
I
once
mean,
I've made like 10 builds that are like actually like what I consider builds, like they've killed all the pinnacles in the highest level, and I
Yeah.
get to choose between them, I might try it. If I make a build that's like super fucking tanky with like a decent amount of damage, like definitely do it then.
I mean, you can't just go on like the trade league and then only use the currency exchange.
Yeah, true, true, true. I've, I would fucking like say if I get to that point where I'm like just pumping out builds that I like enjoy back to back,
Yeah.
I'll be wanting to try the solo self found race to like give my like make an item like because they get to like fucking make an item that gets put in the game right if you win it.
Oh yeah, you get a like a supporter pack as well. That's like tied to you only.
Ah, right, right. Like
But I
I
think
would
it's
love.
like hardcore. Yeah, what is it like a hardcore race?
Mhm. At the start, like right, you get to like if you win it, you get to design an item to put in the game. Like I would love to do that shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be competing with Havoc though.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've never got to win. That's what you're trying to say.
I don't know. You're gonna have to min max the shit out of this game.
Mhm. I mean, I've got a year to do it. Well, still really a year, but
Yeah.
I think that they can make the game harder in 10 other ways that are way more fun.
If they add phasing, you can just dodge roll past stuff, zerg past, run fast. Easy. Avoid all the monsters. People are saying they keep getting surrounded by all the monsters and dying and they can't escape. That doesn't happen unless you make a tactical error. This is not Path of Exile 1. They do not expect you to just form a train of monsters in a map
oh,
and then
forgot to
blast them
look
all
and
down
see if there
instantly.
was that
You
node
can
that
do that.
like, you
That is
cannot
not
be
the base
stunned. You
experience.
cannot
To
deal
do that,
critical
you
hits.
have to design a character that is
Wonder if that's in
capable
the
of
game,
doing that.
actually.
Huh.
Falling Thunder on my monk, I can do that sometimes if I get a perfect scenario going. However, I can't do that all the time. And these players who are zerging past stuff, getting massive groups, and then getting surrounded, it's their fault. The game is designed to punish you if you do that. So
I think that all forms of punishment are not created equal. And if you have a form of punishment that is unfun, then you should change it to be something that's more fulfilling. I don't like how a lot of people that play games view difficulty and they see it from the perspective of anything that makes the game harder is good. No, it's not.
I mean,
Aye, I mean,
don't
there's
see grinding through
hard and there's
games.
just annoying, right?
yeah, I was about to
Switching
say.
this,
There's a thin line
man,
between those.
lots of people like Havoc, lots of people are complaining about this. There is a possibility they do change this, and I think it
Because
was
it feels like
Dude's
shit.
taking spears and shit.
Like, that's the way I see it. Yeah, it just feels like shit to play. What's fulfilling or fun punishment? So here's a good example. Like when the executioner calls down the big anvil when you make a mistake and it hits you and it one-shots you, I think that's fulfilling punishment. When you get smashed by the monkey because you didn't avoid the slam, I think that's fulfilling punishment.
That monkey slam's no joke as well, man.
Right.
When you get hit by the blue things at the beginning of Act 1, or sorry, the end of Act 1, the end boss, and then they freeze you in place and kill you after you get hit by more than one, that's a fulfilling amount of punishment. I think there's a lot of examples of that. Give us one example. How do you fix this? Allow the player character to roll through mobs in order to like get out of tight spaces. Because I think getting and also like there's another component to this too, which is the fact that mobs push the character. Like you guys have probably noticed this a lot
no, even
from
specifically
like PoE
phasing,
1,
just like
is
if
that
you
the
roll
mobs
past
push
them,
you
it moves
around.
them to the sides, kind of thing.
And I
Yeah.
think also if you roll push,
I think the
so like for
pushback
example,
is a big thing. I think if they tone that shit down,
like
where
so
they
let's say
push
you
it to the
have
side, like you said,
all the mobs,
that would do a
and
lot.
this is the wall, and here you are, right? And you can't move. You could have a system where roll just takes you over there,
That's what I was
or
saying,
you could have a system where roll pushes the mobs that are in front of you forward, so then you would be right here,
move to
and
the
then you could
side.
go right there.
Yeah.
I actually think this is a better solution than having phasing.
I think
Because
the
I
first
just
one
feel
would be
like
better,
this
where you just,
experience feels
split
really
them
bad
and
to
then
play.
roll through them.
Yeah.
It's not
Like imagine having 10 rows though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like then it's you, bro. Like that's your fault.
Yeah,
But if
for
it's
sure.
just like one, then yeah, should be able to
Yeah.
go through.
about it's not about difficulty. It's not about whether it's hard or not or a skill issue. I just don't think it's fun to play.
I mean, say if you get to that point where it's like
It's
10
really
rows
just that.
behind, you know your build's not just strong enough for the map you're on.
Right? Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's simple.
Completely changed the feel of combat in the game
Mhm.
for the worse. Next up, respec costs are way too high. Why am I being punished for trying out things? This is particularly
They fixed
talking
this,
about
though.
passive skill
Mhm.
tree
Yeah, I was
point
about to say.
respecs. They're saying the costs are too high.
Right.
It was,
Even
yeah.
in early games, some of the
It was at the
commenters.
start, yeah.
Once
Yeah.
again, I haven't experienced this. I've respect my characters quite a few times now, and I haven't thought they're too high. Really, if you want to invest in completely
No, they
respecting
weren't
your
there.
It's
character,
an Act
it's
2
going to
only
cost
though.
you something. There has to be a weight to this. They don't want you to just completely be able to change your character
I mean,
at
even
will.
said on
I
the
think
post,
that
right,
when
the
you're coming
curve
out
was
with a new
way
game,
Yeah.
fucking
you
high.
have to
It wasn't
challenge
intended.
questions like, why
You
is
just
that a good
have
thing?
to. Basically.
Why is it a good thing that you can't respect your character quite often? And I think that
Yeah, just skip
they've done
past
that
this.
in a
This is
number
a
of other
fixed issue.
cases. Like, for
Yeah.
example, with Portal Scrolls. Why do we have Portal Scrolls? Respec back over to it, right? Back whenever they want. I cannot think of a answer to that that makes sense. Is it? You could respec whenever you wanted. There's plenty of games that allow you to respec whenever you want.
That's a lot of
It's
respect,
PoE1.
Doc.
Stop trying to make the game into something that it's
Still talking about respecting.
so fucking stupid.
One. I have comments talking about how Path of Exile 2 is just like Overwatch 2. I don't
Huh?
Fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. Like it's just like, and this is the problem, is like some of the legitimate concerns that people have, like they just get overruled by like, oh, it's like Overwatch. No, it's not. It's nothing like that. Who the fuck is saying this?
What the fuck?
And you
It's
know there's
crazy.
going to be a group of
has
people
to
who
be a
latch onto that.
defensive
as
mechanism.
well.
Yeah.
This is such a different game. I don't think these people were informed that Path of Exile 2 was going to be separate from Path of Exile 1. I'm wondering if there's some remnants left over from 2019. where
Sometimes
people
it
thought,
does feel
"Oh,
like
Path of Exile 2
PoE1
is just
though.
a sequel to Path of Exile
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
making the systems we know
I
and
mean,
love, the
that's not a
gameplay
bad
we
thing,
know and
though, is
love
it,
from
though?
Path of Exile 1 better. New animations, new visuals,
Like, I started
new
feeling
gameplay,
like
new
it's
acts,
PoE
and
once
that's
my
it.
balls started popping off.
Yeah, I feel like once we start like a melee build, that's when we're gonna like feel like the real difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's how a lot of the people on Reddit are reacting.
Cause like a melee build's not even in my top 5 I want to try right now.
Well, I've got the Dark Monk that's probably just behind the Infernalist, but I mean, that's about it. I didn't want to play any kind of like warrior or.
You're gonna go melee with the Dark Monk?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe I'm going to go a quarterstaff with it, but I'm not 100% set on it, right? I mean, I'll
Yeah.
take it as it comes. Or I might just go like a fucking.
Dude, I've been thinking of going monk bow with the whole dex to lightning. That thing.
Ah, right.
What's that
Yeah,
thing called?
yeah,
I might try that shit out.
yeah.
I need to fucking. I don't know what I'm gonna make when Praise is gonna start. I'm so fucking torn.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
I mean,
see what he makes and then maybe like
Well,
build something off that.
for what he was talking the last time, you'll probably make a support character or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I could do that.
And these voices are just
Yeah, I
being
mean, I think by the
magnified
time Praise
higher
gets
and
here,
higher.
I'll probably not be around as much. So he's can if I'm not around, you can just start your own character, like a new
Yeah.
character or whatever, man.
Like I'm thinking of either doing the Legionnaire to like switch my Chaos build over to that, and then do something else with the Blood Mage.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I might try like a bow build, like I said, like either the monk and like the storm thing, or just a straight up ranger with I don't know. Kind of want to do the snipe skill, but I wonder if I can like kill like at least 2 screens of mobs with that shit.
Yeah, it needs to be worth the charge up time for snipe,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah.
I need to be able to increase, like make it faster, the charge up time, and then see if I can, I don't know, if it changes, like the explosion, I might
I was
try it.
thinking like if you charge that up, you get it perfect, right? You just
Yeah.
explode it, and then just a full fucking screen gets wiped out. Like
Yeah.
that'll be worth it.
If I can get like that would be fucking amazing.
I think that way you probably want to get like some kind of explodey shit, like a 10% or 5% chance to explode on death. Like I'm not sure though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
keep going.
to figure that out, how that's gonna be.
That's
Higher and
fucking.
higher.
I'm surprised
Well,
I've
the
had a
problem
lot
is
of fun
that
trying to figure shit out with this build as well. Though, like
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident in saying that half the fun in this game right now is making your own build. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely. Seeing what I can and cannot do.
yeah, just fucking
funny meme without a lot of thinking to it attracts a lot of people on Reddit because most people on Reddit aren't really spending a whole lot of time thinking, right? That's the other reason. Pointing you for reviews. Well, I mean, I try to be as fair as I can be with the game, right? I mean, obviously it depends, but I think GGG should have called PoE 2 a different name. No, why? I mean, I feel like it is PoE 2. It's obviously PoE 2. How is reverting back to 2012 CB problems, closed beta problems, making PoE better? Because I think that those problems that the game had, the reason why PoE was bad then, and also I think PoE is good too, now, I think that having less loot in the game doesn't make it like PoE in 2012. Like, basically, so there are a lot of, like, multiplicative problems that having high mob density creates. So one of the problems that it creates is it becomes much harder to allow mobs to do actual status effects like shock or frost because of the way that they multiply against each other.
Or
right?
have like
so like if now you're
complex
shocked
animations.
and frozen, now you're super dead. So it means that if you're dealing with that many mobs coming at you, you have to make the mobs easier to deal with. And by making them easier to deal with, you also make it to where they don't have as many interesting mechanics and combat becomes less tactile.
Right?
So that's number one. Number two is visual density. So a big problem with PoE 1 is that you can't see anything on the screen because there are so many things happening on the screen. A big solution to that is remove the amount of things from the screen and make the things that do exist make them harder.
I was wondering.
So
where was it? The supporter pack. Like I have all these, but I was wondering. Hey, where is it? No, it is out of core. Like there's one for the 480 that just looks fucking insane. Where is it? Oh no, did they remove it?
Oh, is it the Settlers one?
Oh no. No, it was the fuck, what was it called again? You looked like like a shaper, I think. But then your dodge had like a crazy effect. Fuck. What? Yeah, now it's this. Wait.
Yeah, these look like the core packs. We'll have a look at the other ones.
Yeah, I think that's it. Fuck, we can't buy the old one anymore. That sucks. Unless it's this.
No, that's
Ah,
just
it's
the
upgrade,
thing.
yeah. Alright. Oh, fuck. It might come back, I don't know. What's this?
Wait, what, if it was a core one, I don't think they ever come back if it was core.
Yeah, but it was like the 480 pack. It was always there until now. This is early access.
Search for it on Google, say, like, look at all the names of all the 480 packs, and you can maybe, like, glance at it and see if you remember. Alright, put list at the end of pack.
Right. This is early access again. Probably also early access. Nah, it's also the same. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find this. Fuck, what was it called again?
Yeah, just put all at the start of PoE, then at the end put fucking list at the end. 2022. The
I think
Eldritch
it's this
series.
one. Oh, no, wait. This is new again. This looks nice though.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah, it's all about fucking. Fuck.
Well, it's going to be near the top, right? If it looks like Shaver, it's probably called this the Eldritch one, right? Probably.
Yeah, it might be one of those, actually. That was a 1000. What the fuck?
I think at the start of like early access on PV1 there was a £10,000 pack as well.
Million Conqueror pack. Is this it? I think it might be this. Oh no. Fuck. What was this shit again? Nice, this Spewy 2 already. Fuck, man, I've been eyeing that pack for so fucking long. And now it's just gone. No. No, this is. Ah, fuck it, dude. Maybe.
There's an elder armor set, like an elder armor pack.
Really?
Yeah. It costs 420 points.
Oh, that's not the one. Fuck, what was it called again? The fuck is this? Yeah, I'm not gonna find it with all these new
So what
fucking
I'm
posts.
saying is that
Shit.
adding more mob density creates a lot of secondary and tertiary problems with how that mob density interacts with not only the player character, but also how the mobs interact with each other. So that's the reason why having high mob density creates a lot of problems that ends up watering down gameplay.
Really scaring me. Really, really, really scaring me, everyone. And then this thread right here summarizes most Path of Exile 1 players' complaints about Path of Exile
Yep.
2 very succinctly. It's not the difficulty. Stop repeating this. They reiterate that it's not enough loot dropping, grinding your games wasting the player's time, and the dodge roll not having phasing.
I think that the map sizes are too big without having teleports. I think that in the campaign especially, you should be able to teleport between checkpoints when you're inside of a map.
Can.
That would allow the maps to be larger
Yeah, you
and
can,
maintain
right?
their scale
Mhm.
without making the player backtrack massively. That's what I'd like to see. I think that's the solution.
like to focus on the second point as we've already
No, you
talked about
definitely
points
can,
1
right.
and 3. The second point, wasting the player's time. I legit spent more time in a single zone in Act 3 than I would have spent in an entire act in PoE 1, and a huge amount of that time was extremely boring and
I don't
unnecessary.
mind that. That's
Obviously,
not really
this has
one of my
nothing to
biggest
do
gripes, to be
with...
I
honest.
think another reason why
I've
that
got used
happens
to not
too
using the
is
teleport.
because players are trying to finish all of the secondary objectives on the different maps. Like, for example, killing all of the unique bosses because they give unique rewards. And because they're trying to do all of those different things, it causes them to fully explore the map in a way that isn't really fun. So PoE should look at how can we make it to where players don't have to completely ink the entire map in order to find these objectives if they don't really like doing it. Because again, I think that we're gonna look back again for the fun and fulfillment.
You, like, more
Is it
details of where
fulfilling
the
and
bosses
fun
are and
to
shit, like, or
Yeah.
search
teleport
every
right to the
single
boss with the axe?
corner of like a forest
Or
map
just like a
because there's
statue
one
or
little area
something
that
that
leads you to like a
indicates
boss?
you're getting there.
I think
you're
that's
getting
annoying
closer.
for a lot of people.
Or even just like a list to see what ones you're missing, right?
I actually don't
Oh,
mind
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think that a lot of people do. And I think it
You're
would be
gonna add
better
that
if you
'cause
had
they
at
have
least
it in
some
PoE 1.
indicator. But this is also, I
Yeah,
don't
for
think they
sure.
should do the indicator yet. The reason why I don't think they should do it is that I
Well,
bet
hopefully
these
they'll
maps
add
are
it.
probably designed in the same way that PoE 1 is probably designed, where it's like, for example, so like on the docks map, for example, the boss is usually, or I forgot which map, like in different maps, the boss is usually forward and then to the left, or the area where you have to go down and like get a skill point is at the bottom to the right, or something like that. So players will figure this out over time, and then after it gets figured out, the amount of backtracking that will happen will naturally decrease itself because players will have metagamed the maps.
You need to remember,
It's a
most
pattern
people
map?
only
Yeah,
go through
exactly.
these maps once.
You have
Right.
arguably way too much dead
Yeah.
zones with nothing. Yeah, I think so too. I feel like you should, but that would totally be solved if you just let people teleport. That won't help new players, only old players. Yeah, exactly. I think new players, it's probably not as bothersome as it is for old players.
Yeah, you're like exploring the game.
Personally.
Like I don't feel like
Players don't know Path of Exile 2.
You know
It's a
what
brand
people
new
are like
game.
these days, so they
Remember
want
back to
everything
the
done
first time you played
instantly,
Path of Exile 1.
if
Did you
if
do
it's
it as
too much
fast
work,
as you
they
do
just
Path
don't
of
wanna
Exile
do it.
1 now,
Yeah, I
after
guess.
playing the campaign over and over and over again?
No.
Or are you doing it at the same pace? For example,
But is that really
I
the
am
kind
replaying
of
through
game
Path
you
of
want
Exile
to
2's
tailor? Is that
campaign
the kind of game you
offline.
want to tailor your game towards? I mean,
I hope they don't. Like
I
you said.
really fucking hope they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, with the amount of uniques you get to fucking level up other characters, like there's no shot they should change anything.
No.
And once you got over that first huddle, like you're good. Well, actually, see how it goes, I guess, when I make the second character.
Yeah.
I got a couple ideas. I don't know how to level it.
hmm Oh, see, the way I'm
Next.
looking at it, right? I'm never going to level a character as if it's a twink. I'm always going to level it as if it's because I want to be able to take it from start to finish without having to rely on
Oh, really?
like currency and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like that's my aim for the builds I make, basically. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's got to be builds in there that are more beneficial to do like as a second character, but I'm going to initially build them as if they're like league starters and then take them to end game. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's actually a good idea, just to see how it feels.
Mm-hmm. So you know what to be in a kind of like I mean, you could make your next class and it's like during maps and end game, it's absolutely amazing. You can't imagine yourself playing anything else.
Yeah.
And then, but the only problem is you can't fucking do it unless it's your second character. You know what I mean? That would feel so bad. I'd hate that shit.
Yeah, I think like the cast on crit shit that I want to try, that's just definitely gonna have to be a second character.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of stuff like I already am gonna need.
Yeah, I mean you could like back engineer it to make it a starter, but obviously you're going to need to switch a lot before you get into maps and shit.
Yeah,
But
probably level up with like an entire different skill or something.
yeah. Maybe switch like as you get to like Act 6 or whatever, man. I don't know. But
Yeah, I guess we'll
that's
see.
yeah.
Volume, music high, just taking it all in on a warrior.
Yeah.
I did
Smart.
Act 1 in about a sixth of the time that I did it on my first playthrough. It took about, I think, an hour to finish Act 1
Mhm.
on my warrior. And that was the second time I played Act
I had
1.
the same thing happen
I think
with
the
my
third time.
sorceress. Like I cleared through it in
Oof,
like
look at
an
the
hour,
explosion.
if not less.
The fourth
Super
time, the fifth
fast.
time, the sixth time. It's just going to get faster. You're going to understand the layouts.
Yeah.
You're going to know which bosses to kill. You're going to know what the monsters do. You're going to know how to obtain items in the proper
You know the boss
way
mechanics.
because
You did say previously
everything
that
has
one of the
changed.
guys
The
in the
item
GP
system has
office
changed.
like
The
go to
skill
end game
system, the
with
way
like 6
enemies
hours,
interact
right?
with you,
Yeah.
they all changed. The game is far more engaging. It's not Path of Exile 1. People need to wipe that from their minds. This is a brand new game. You're going to learn it. You're not going to be able to run through Path of Exile 2 as fast as you are with Path of Exile 1. It's just not happening right now.
I think
Over
that's
time,
a good thing.
maybe. But still, the game is going to be engaging. I don't think the right word here is difficult. Path of Exile 2 is engaging. And
That's one of the reasons why I like the Arch Nemesis monsters in PoE 1 is that they engage the player to react to the monster. I think that before you had Arch Nemesis, players never really interacted with or
One thing
paid
I will
attention
admit,
to
though,
what different rare monsters did.
the feeling for MSQ to maps is like it feels like two different games.
Right?
Like Endgame feels more like PoE 1, whereas the MSQ actually feels like a new game.
Yeah. That's the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
And I think that the more that you actually have the player focusing on what's happening rather than just like not paying attention, it's a better thing.
difficult for some people. And then many others love it.
Oh, wait, what's
And then I
that?
just had to include this in here
That me?
because maybe it
Your
kind
audio
of
fun.
gave away the whole ball.
What? My audio fucked?
Yeah.
Let me restart it.
Ball game. The
Yeah,
last one is me
fair.
right now, playing PoE 2,
Yeah.
watching a streamer
second
play PoE 2,
screen is,
not
like,
touching the
flickering
game and
and
simply
shit.
enjoying memes about
That's
PoE
it.
2. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people on the Path of Exile subreddit, maybe they're not even touching PoE 2. Maybe they touched
they
it for a
both run
bit,
at different
and now
frame
they're just
rates.
on there
Yeah.
raging about the game, and
Yeah.
the people
That's what
enjoying the game, well, they are a part of this Steam graph right here, and the PS5 player base, and the Xbox player base, and the
Sure.
standalone client players, like myself. So where do we go from here? I hope Grinding Gear Games does not listen to the feedback about changing the entire vision
Exactly.
of Path of
Hell,
Exile
yeah,
2.
that would be
What they need
crazy.
to do is they need to listen to what the feedback is, and they need to figure out where that feedback is actually coming from, and avoid treating symptoms and focus on treating diseases. Because a lot of
Agreed.
times players might be able to identify what they don't like, but they probably won't have the perfect solution for how to change it. So, like, if something doesn't feel fulfilling or fun, then that's absolutely a criticism that they need to fix, but it depends on how
What
they want to fix
what they
that.
should do is take
Game
like
is meant to
take
be
in
engaging.
all the complaints and like maybe fix the top 4, top 5. Like I don't know. I don't know again how they would like go about that, but I really just like we said before, man.
I mean, just any complaint that is just not in line with their vision, then just ignore that shit. And then,
Yeah, yeah. I hope they don't buckle, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's finish this shit and get some
Loot is meant to be
Yeah.
meaningful.
mapping.
You're not supposed to deserve
In
Yeah.
fact,
levels
do the breach
super, super fast on your first playthrough.
Yeah,
And
it's
my
boring.
goodness, people haven't even been in
Are
endgame
you
for
doing
more
something
than probably
endgame?
a day and a half at this point. I'm not
Yeah.
too sure. And people are already saying the endgame loop sucks and is terrible. We need to give it a little bit more time until we say that, right? A little bit more hands-on experience with it. I have kept myself pretty blind to the opinions of lots of other content creators. I've only looked at Reddit this one time and
This is the
one other
first video
time
I've
to
seen
gather
since
Yeah,
information.
watching
same.
it.
I've read people's Twitch chats, my own. I've read Twitter. So I don't really
thank God it
know
didn't get
what
spoiled
is
on
going on. I
anything.
don't know if this is a zeitgeist that is just
Yeah.
wrapping up
Oh,
about
what?
Path of
We've got
Exile 2.
one more
and
boss
I
it's
think
to
this
see, right?
happens with almost.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the pinnacle, the guy, the tower.
Yeah.
I think.
So we saw Ritual, we saw... What if Delirium has like something else on top? Are we actually gonna fight the guy this time?
Think maybe at like
Yeah.
round 50 you might fight him. I can't remember the was there a like an endgame boss in for Delirium PoE?
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
It could
It's
be
the only-
like
the
the Fourth
Yeah.
Ascendancy where I just didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
right?
I can't even believe that shit,
That
man.
shit is
That's
wild.
unbelievable.
I
That's
even did those blue stones as well, like to go into the upgraded.
And you just never done
Yeah, I
that.
just never picked it. I thought that was like for special loot or some shit.
Or like the fucking the anoint stupid
Yeah.
gear. That's wild, man. You're just running past the altar every time, like
Yeah, I
fuck
just never thought you could get one.
Almost every new game that has an established player base that people complain about it being too easy or too hard or bad compared to the last one. It happens with WoW expansions, it happens with everything.
reception
Every PoE
from Path of
expansion.
Exile 1 players.
Mhm.
It seems everyone in my comments really loves the game.
Like, yeah,
There's some
Sekiro
tuning
had
that
the
has
same
to
thing
be done.
happen.
I've
That's a really
mentioned
good example.
Some areas seem way out of whack.
Yeah.
I also think that there can be some work done
Sekiro
on
was
maps, giving
actually
them more
amazing as well.
checkpoints and
I love Sekiro.
Bloodborne, Sekiro. And then what would be number 3? Actually, Sekiro, I don't know which one I would put first. I think Sekiro first. Then
I would put Bloodborne first, then Sekiro. It's my favourite, so like Bloodborne, Sekiro, then probably Dark Souls
Bloodborne
3.
Bloodborne was like fucking good, man. Like everything about the game.
Like, see
Like
when
the
you found out that
setting,
you
the
could go into
gameplay.
the chalice shit, and you found like
Oh
the
my
secret
God.
bosses, man, that shit was amazing.
Right?
I had so much content and layers to that game. It was so good, man. Like you had to find the 3 umbilical cords to get like the ending and shit,
Yeah,
man.
Sekiro was fucking nuts as well, though.
Sekiro was really good. Like I'd probably say Bloodborne, Sekiro, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, then Dark Souls 2. I've never played Elden Ring, but I would imagine that's up there as well. Like that would be like top 3 probably.
Fuck, man. Yeah. I think I would put Bloodborne first just because of the setting of the game.
The aesthetics.
Yeah, it's so fucking good, man. And then I would like put Sekiro in between brackets, like there somewhere, and then Elden Ring for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another game you have to go through, man.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that shit. That was so good, man.
Is it still on sale? Actually, forgot to fucking buy it.
I mean, I'm told off right now. So like I said, I'm limited on my playtime soon. So wait till I get wait till I'm fully back before like that shit.
I'm gonna need some time off, like, cause once you get into that game, you need to really get into that game.
Yeah.
Instead of like the Dreadnought
right.
map just being a super long map
what I'm
with
thinking,
no
like,
checkpoints.
maybe,
and if you
like,
die, you gotta
maybe like a month or two before the actual full release of PoE 2, we'll do that. We'll just fucking
Yeah.
go in and spend a fucking like a month or so in that game, or however long it takes us to do everything in the game.
Yeah, I might even do like some overtime to get some days off as well.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good, man.
fight through everything once more. I think there should be loot highlighting in the game for special items and not just uniques. I think people in Melee should have some
like Chaos Orbs, like all that shit, Exalt, give that shit some shine.
sort of bonus
like
to
a fortify
honor in some form or fashion in the trial of the Sekimus.
Or help the
I think that the
fucking
map UI on whether or
loot
not you
filter
killed a
guy.
boss should be
That
changed
shit.
a little bit, because right now the faded gray is not clear to a lot of people. Just
It's
put in
unclear. Just put
I
it,
was
yeah,
looking
X
at
over
it
it,
as
right?
well. Like, so your
on the
path
skull.
building
Absolutely.
is going
Please
to be the 6th.
Yeah.
I never saw nothing about that. Like, the only thing I found about that is they said it's going to take a long fucking time. Like,
I was like a Reddit post.
oh, was it?
Yeah. So it could be wrong. It was like one post that I saw.
Maybe they were saying he's got to start development on the 6th. I don't think it's coming out on the 6th.
I know, like in the post, like at the time, he was like, I just did family stuff, and then he was gonna work on it as soon as he got back home from all the family stuff. He was gonna try to get it out on the 6th.
I mean, that would be magic, don't it?
Right.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But yeah, imagine like there's like a 50% chance it was just a troll. So I don't know.
Yeah.
One can
Allow
only
me to
hope.
walk away from environmental lore objects when I click on them
It's not
and
as
read
if
them.
there's a
Right
huge
now,
fucking mod pool for like code into it as well, though, right? I mean, it's pretty bare bones, so I would imagine it wouldn't take them too long. Like, I mean, I'm saying that, but it's just one guy, so
This
there's
what
like
he's
a-
saying is huge as well. I don't know why.
Put an X over it, right?
X
Yeah,
on the
there
skull.
you go.
In Grinding
Absolutely.
Your Games, please
Yes.
allow me to walk away
Here.
from environmental lore objects when I click on them and read them. Right now, you can't, and it makes me so
You
sad.
can. You have to roll out of it. You can't
Really?
press escape. You have to roll, and then it will continue playing the dialogue. I learned that myself.
Oh.
It's really it's
Skill
silly,
issue, bro. Skill issue. Fucking skill
Right?
issue.
but that's how it works.
I didn't even know that.
And at this
either,
point,
but-
those are
Same.
my critiques of Path of Exile 2.
You just click?
Like I said,
Okay,
I'm
well, I
only
always
in Act
roll.
3. I am taking my time. I am enjoying this as a brand new
Yeah.
game. You only get that brand new game smell
That's
and
right.
taste once. I'm really taking it in. I'm playing multiple characters. I'm in Act 3.
I'm
I'm
happy
going
with
to progress
the
through
game.
ruthless
Like,
difficulty and into the
Happy
end
with
game.
it right
That's
now.
Maybe
right.
my opinions will change. Maybe. It's very possible. But I do hope that Grinding Your Game sticks to their vision and does not bend to the mob. Even though this is early access, even though this is a beta of sorts, and they will be
Well,
making
they should be making as many changes as they can in order to see what players like and how they respond to them. This is the time to bend to the mob because sometimes the mob could be right. So change it, make it to where like respecs don't cost anything in campaigns. See what happens. See how players interact with it because they're the ones that have all the data.
I mean,
they're the ones that have all the tools. So say,
they're
hey,
not
for
wrong,
this week we're
but
gonna
if they-
have like
if
an
they take the
extra
game in,
system and like you can do this.
completely different direction where it's
Yeah,
just
who listen to
brain
players?
dead,
Well,
like,
yeah,
fucking-
but like they can change it back. Exactly, yeah. And so you should try these
What
different
are those
systems and see
emotes,
how players
bro? What
interact with
the
them.
fuck?
And that's going to inform more than any sort of Reddit
Is
post,
that
right?
something in the bathtub with his
lots
legs
of
hanging out or
changes.
something?
Yeah, no,
There's so
monkey
much more
jerking
coming
off
to Path of
to it.
Exile 2 in the coming weeks and months. We've got 6 more classes. We've got 3 more acts. We've got more end game. The game is just starting out.
Yeah.
Truly. And I hope that they are able to see out all this content added in their vision of the game that is so darn fun to many of us. Well, what do you think?
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments below, and make sure if
I mean,
you
I
like the video,
pretty
hit the
much
like
agreed
button
with
now
every
and
point you had there,
subscribe
to
to
be
the
honest.
channel for more Path of Exile 2 content in the future. I will see you
Yeah.
in the next video.
Let's get
Stay
fucking
sane.
I would agree as well.